Hey, you, welcome back to Sugar Pearl Studio Kitchen Live. Oh my goodness, have I got a recipe for you. The weather is turning cold and crisp in the morning. You're gonna wanna stick around for this one. But first, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to my channel at Sugar Pearls, SUGARPEARL'. My brother gave me these perfectly cute little Cornish hens, and he also gave me some herbs from his garden. Let me show you how we're going to season it up, okay? We've got a little 5-spice powder. That's going to give us a slight anise flavor to it, some basil, some, my garlic powder. We'll add to that, of course, some pink salt, a little paprika, some oregano. And okay, so he gave me this. This is not oregano. This is rosemary. This is dried rosemary from his garden. And he was just keeping it. So he was like, take this too. And oh gosh, we're going to crush it up and make a little seasoning for our Cornish hens. Look at that. And just mix it all in. Okay, now that you've gotten every part of this chicken coated, we can get ready to roast it for just a little bit. I want to bring out some of the natural oils just to kind of get those seasonings to stick on. So we're going to put it in there for about 15 minutes or so. And oh, he had this beautiful parsley. Isn't it cute? He trimmed it for me and everything. This is his fresh rosemary. Fresh from my brother's garden. And that's going to go in our chicken too. Look at this cute little pepper that he had. He had a couple of bell peppers that he gave me, and this little red one came out. That's the beauty about growing your own food. You just always get like a little surprise. And this is the green bell pepper that he had. And I'm going to use all of the goodies that he gave me for our stew. Now, for a little extra umami, I'm putting some chunks of sweet potato in there, like this. That sweet potato is going to give us a hint of sweetness in this stew. You can pull it out if you want to, but if you just want to flavor it, like with that garlic, did you like how I did that? Okay, pull your Cornish hens out. Those seasonings, look, they're stuck on there. You've got some oil rolling around in there. Let's start to build our stew. I like leaving the oil on in the stew. I usually skim it off the next day. But all of our goodies are going inside. The garlic, the peppers and parsley, the rosemary, and I've used a small red onion here. Now, you can add water to stew this with. I'm using a chicken stock, chicken broth. And just make sure you cover it well. It's going to reduce as it cooks a little bit, and you can choose whether you want to add more stock or water from there. But we're going to let it cook, stew down, and start to simmer and thicken on its own. To our stock, we're adding some browning sauce. I like using Magi. They have the best. It's salty. It's just enough. Notice we haven't added a lot of salt to this dish, but this browning sauce is going to be just enough. It's almost like a brown stewed chicken minus some ingredients. I'm putting the rest of my rosemary in there and getting the last of that broth out and just making sure that everything is well incorporated so that as it stews, it'll just kind of look like this. So it's stewed for this is about 15 minutes time. I'm adding a little coconut water to this. Now, I said you could add stock, water. I'm using coconut water. This is going to help our stew thicken. A couple of tablespoons of ketchup and a few drips of hot sauce. And we're just going to ladle it on in there. Notice we're leaving our chicken to stew there. Boy, that looks good. And again, just mixing to make sure all of that tomato is kind of broken up in there. Now to my stew, I love adding egg. I got that from my mom. On cold days in the fall after school, she'd sometimes make a hen stew. She'd put some dumplings in it, but she'd always have like a little boiled egg or something in it. And that, oh, you will always try to fish the boiled egg out because it was also one of the most perfect parts of the stew. So we've got our, and all of that is going to help it to thicken. Our ketchup that we added, the yolk from the egg, and the starch from the potato will all work into the stew to make it just the perfect thickness. All right, we're gonna let that go for another 45 minutes or so. Our potatoes are softened. Look at that chicken. It is all broken up. Now I'm gonna make a little pot of rice, and I'm using a little bit of water to steam the rice, but I'm also adding some of my stock. So we'll have seasoned rice and some green beans. Delicious. I added a little bit of garlic powder, some salt, and just roasted them with Sugar Pearl's extra virgin basil olive oil. Time to plate. We've got our seasoned rice, which is all done. Our perfect green beans, those potatoes. Now you can pull the potatoes out if you want, but I kind of left mine in. And you can roast them later if you want. You can take them out of the stew altogether. You can not add it if you want, but it really just makes it feel cozy when you're eating it. So enjoy this recipe. Thanks for watching. It's Sugar Pearls, food that loves you back.
Come true.